Michael just dropped some gems. So not only is he going to presentations, he's negotiating before he gets there to get as many points or as many rewards as possible. But then also he's negotiating where he's staying. He's like, I don't want to stay here. I want to stay by the beach. Did you ever or have you ever purchased a timeshare?
I'm Key, a credit card, points and miles enthusiast and travel lover. On my channel, I discuss the mistakes I've made, my future travel goals, and overall credit journey since 2016. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.
Before we even talk about it, would you ever or have you ever purchased a timeshare?
So personally, I haven't, but I have to say, sadly, I know someone close to me has, and they have fallen to that trap. I don't know specifically how that happened. Obviously, I was not
Mhm.
there to help them, but I have not, and I don't think I've become remotely close at any time I've done it in the last 2 years.
You and a salesperson, you're saying you did these virtually. So talk to us about that. You mean like from your house, like from where you're at right now?
Yeah, so virtual timeshares are definitely the sweet spot if you can find them because you don't have to travel out. You don't have to leave your house, your office, your bedroom, whatever it is. You literally do it from the mere presence of the virtual world and grab a computer, webcam, and you sit there for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, however you can last with these, these sellers and go through the presentation if you were there and, that's it. And it's interesting. The Marriott one was very interesting because I think I was telling people maybe you have the same experience, Key, is that they actually were advertising their Marriott cards to me. And they were like saying, oh,
Oh,
after we're done,
10 to 4 or 5 presentations this year. Can you tell us about maybe some of the, I'll say compensation, I'm not exactly sure, benefits, perks you've gotten for attending these types of presentations?
my video, I think it was like, I got 15,000 points for a couple, and then I think it's like 10 just by yourself. I think like that. That's what it is. So coverage is
Okay,
great because high
that's
scores are
solid.
very valuable. 15,000 points, like I mean, if you do like a Cat one, you can get at least depending on what the points are. If it's 3,000 or 5,000, that's a couple of
Yeah.
nights. I think you're going to talk about this too. Is that sometimes you don't always go for the first offer they give you, and so
Hmm.
when we initially talked about it, it was like 50,000 points, whatever. And then I called them and like, I was actually gonna just say yes, but then I paused for like a couple minutes. And he's like, oh, let me check your profile. And they upped it to 70,000. So I get 70,000 IG points for that.
Let's go.
So that was, and then for the second one we just did for IG for myself, I think I got 50,000, which was fine. And that was just nothing really string attached. And then choice was the big one I've talked about, which is crazy because that one was, oh God, that was a lot of 50,000 choice points. To Hilton, they're giving me $200 hotel certificate, the three night cruise, and right now they're offering me at least 25,000 Hilton points. So
Okay. Okay, that's solid. Night on us is very limited. You have 6 months from the date of your presentation to stay at a property. So keep that in mind. And then you can only select from a handful of Hilton properties. So traditional Hilton, DoubleTree, Candle something, Suites. And then there's like 2 others. So maybe, Embassy Suites is definitely another one that's on the list. So keep in mind, maybe you want to do like a staycation or maybe like you need to do a repositioning flight somewhere that has a DoubleTree or has one of these Hiltons near or attached to the airport that you can kind of use up this certificate on us. Um, but limitations. But I got that. I used it up in San Francisco before going to Turkey earlier this year and to the Manila earlier this year. I got the 4 day, 3 night cruise. And I actually got a 7 night cruise. I haven't used the 4 night, but I actually recently did like from Boston all the way up to Canada, stopped in Maine, a couple other places as well. 7 night cruise was pretty solid. Fees and taxes on that were $200, so not terrible, not terrible for a 7 night cruise in my opinion. Um, that was pretty solid. I've received. I did the Marriott Bonvoy virtual myself. Um, I did that with a roommate, so we got 50,000 Bonvoy points went right to my account right after. I did Holiday Inn. I talked about. I got 70,000 IHG points. I didn't get a gift card or anything like that, and I did that in Las Vegas earlier this year. If anyone's a Formula One fan like me, it's kind of on the Formula One route. So I'll just say that before we get into tips and tricks, I'll just say that for now. And then most recently, I did the choice presentation last week. 70,000 choice points
Yeah,
for
sure.
attending.
So tips and tricks. I think, like I said, kind of just what we alluded to. Like, if you do it, like, I would say, don't ever like accept the first offer.
Try to stack these as much as possible. So what I mean by that is after you get solicited, right, it usually costs, I don't know, I'll just throw out a figure, anywhere from $79 for these packages all the way up to, I'll say 250, maybe $300 to have, I'll say like a 4-night stay, sometimes a 3-night stay, and attend one of these presentations. But these things code as travel. So, like, if you have cards like the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve or the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or excuse me, the Reserve, or Bank of America has cards that offer a pretty flexible travel credit as well. That's how I often purchase these timeshare presentations. By
Make it part of your plan, so that way you're doing kind of two things in one: do a family vacation or a couples retreat, and also getting some points and miles. Because, and I'm going to be frankly honest, like when I'm on vacation, I'm not looking to bust out a stove and wash dishes, buy
yeah,
frozen meat at Costco or whatever. Like,
yep.
I'm looking to go out and try different foods. So, like, that's one thing I would say. If you're that kind of traveler like me, then timeshares won't be right for you. But they do.
If for 250, I got to go to this presentation and I'm going to get 70,000 points, I often say, like, okay, that's worth it to me. I want to see how much 70,000 points cost with this promotion. 500, almost $500. Yeah, that's crazy. There's no way. Like, I wouldn't pay for that, but for some reason in my mind, I'd rather go to the presentation.
Another tip, I think you mentioned it too, is that obviously you go because it's a plan of yours to do something, but also have a plan to use the points. Like,
Mhm.
I've always been advocate, and you have too, that when you get points, try to use them within the expiration date or sooner, because Choice Hotels is a great example where they've just been just crushing and devaluing their points. I think twice this year already. So, like,
Yeah, yeah.
you have to have a means of it, because while it's great to have a million Hilton points or 500,000
Mhm.
Marriott points, it's it's only gonna get worse from here. I don't.
Yeah, I completely agree. Um, my last tip that I want to share, though, just to bring us back to the tips and tricks, is you've asked me earlier if I plan vacations and stuff around going to some of these presentations. I purposely dodged the question because I didn't want to give my tip away right away. Um, but these presentations, they're often very flexible and there's really no blackout date, right? Because their end goal is to try to sell you. They don't, knock on wood, they don't really care if it's the day before Christmas or if it's New Year's or whenever. So I say all that to say, if there's maybe something that you're planning, maybe it's a bachelorette party. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to do that, right? Go to a timeshare presentation or a bachelorette party, but like something like that, right? Maybe it's like an event in town, Taylor Swift, or some of these things that cause the economics of things to astronomically increase. Buy one of these timeshare presentations, perhaps, and book it for that kind of time period, right? So let's just say the concert's on Sunday. Maybe you're going to stay in a place like Monday, Tuesday. You can do that presentation on Monday, Tuesday, and not on the Sunday. So you can still enjoy your concert. You paid, I don't know, $99 to $250 for the 4-night stay, 3-night stay. And you still get to do whatever you're going to do in town. Formula One is in Las Vegas